What if I told you there was somewhere with history and culture that is like no other, and you are always welcome with open arms and great hospitality? What if I told you there was also authentic cuisine that was matched with this location? My name is Hannah Castillo, and while I was born in San Antonio, Texas, I was heavily influenced by my family that is located right where it matters, in the working industry of Port Isabel, Texas. During hot summers, we would take 2-minute drives to the popular known beach, South Padre Island, that brings many people in all around the world. This place is known for their concerts, amusement parks, oceanside attractions, and their food that is straight off the boat. Not only does this little town and large beach location have many things for everybody to do, if you would like to know more about this location, just stick around for the facts about this little town. Today in my speech, I am going to be expressing information based on the history of Port Isabel, Texas, the major industries that do go ahead and help the economy in this location, and the cuisine that is present. To start off with, I am going to first talk about the history of Port Isabel, Texas. According to the Texas State Historical Association Handbook of Texas, Port Isabel was founded on March 23rd, 1928. With only 200 people living in that area at the time. When they started to found this location, they only used their natural resources, would be the ocean, the land that they had for cotton, corn, stuff like that. To begin with, Native Americans were the only ones that did go ahead and populate this area with wildlife until the Spaniards came and moved all the Indians out of the area. Again, after they started founding it with just the Spaniards and what they had left of the Native Americans, they were able to start using the resources to go ahead and build a stable economy. Major construction sites that were located in this area would be the lighthouse. Again, most lighthouses are used for helping Marines that are out at sea go ahead and know where the low shore tides would be to keep them wary of that crash or that incident. The second construction site that has played a big role in this town would be the Queen Isabella Causeway. The Queen Isabella Causeway was built in 1954, and by building this causeway, they went ahead and cut efficiency times on traveling from the island back to the town tremendously. 27 years later, after it was built, there was a barge accident that caused a fatality rate of 8 people. Again, after that, it was rebuilt to where it was working again, helping people go from the town to the island and thus forth, going back and forth to go ahead and continue with their everyday lives. Now, we know sometimes that the history goes hand in hand with the major industries that go ahead and pull itself. The following are industries that are located in this area. Again, according to the Texas State Historical Association Handbook of Texas, fishing and shrimping is one of the main economical pools that this location has. Again, the fishing and shrimping goes hand in hand with food accommodations. Since this is a resort type of location, it has a lot of hotels that go ahead and prepare the food that is needed for these guests that are staying overnight. This food accommodation is one of the largest economies that they do have in Port Isabel, Texas, or South Padre Island. The second major economy that they do have is going to be wholesale trading. Now, wholesale trading is where larger businesses go ahead and buy bulk from the fishermen that go ahead and catch the fish, shrimp, crabs, all the sea life that we do eat. They go ahead and buy those in bulk and then sell them to larger corporations, such as governments, other institutions, and again, back to schools and other industries. The third large major economy or industry that is located in this area is going to be educational services. Now, when they first started founding this location, or South Padre Island, Port Isabel, they were in desperate need of teachers because there was only 200 people populating this area. Now, as the population started to grow, more teachers were needed to keep that job security available to also help educate the new people coming into the town. Now, we're going to move on to what keeps guests joining this lovely establishment happy, which would be the food. The food. Fresh crab, shrimp, and fish is always a hit, especially in an area where there is an ocean. According to Texas Monthly's article entitled "The Sure Thing," Joe Potosky went ahead and visited South Padre Island for a trip. He went ahead and stated that not only was this seafood the best seafood he's ever had, but he recommended going to everybody and having them try it as well. Not only are these dishes very good sized for every single person, but again, it gives that town the perfect opportunity to go ahead and showcase exactly what they're able to catch from their own boats. The next food that I'm going to talk about is going to be oyster Rockefeller, since that is, again, seafood. Oyster Rockefeller is a half-shelled oyster that is usually topped with spinach, cheese, or breadcrumbs. Again, it's either baked or boiled, and is served to guests. Again, most guests like to eat it with saltine crackers, depending on your different flavoring. But again, that's also one of the most popular foods that is served in that area. And then lastly, because it is kind of a Mexican heritage area, taquitos. Taquitos are one of the most popular Mexican cuisine that is served in that area. These are usually mini tacos served with either barbacoa, bistec, asada, and they're served with cheese, cilantro, or lime, depending on what your flavor is. Now that you know a little bit more about Port Isabel, I hope I was able to go ahead and show and educate you guys a little bit more on the history, major industries, and cuisine that is served in that part of that town. With the closing of this presentation, I hope that all of you took this information and you learned a little bit more about this lovely town. Again, I hope it also taught you guys that there is different cultures in different parts of Texas. Thank you.